This is the book. This is the book that everyone should read. This is Stephen Pressfield, The War of Art. One of the most important books ever. It just completely changed the way I was thinking. It helped to just put everything in perspective. It was magical. Magical book. Stephen Pressfield himself is a writer. He's written such books as The Legend of Bagger Vance, which was made into a movie with Will Smith. He's made another great book called Put Your Ass Where Your Heart Wants to Be. Oh, another game-changing book. Really, really talented author. But specifically in The War of Art, it opened my mind up to the concept of resistance. He calls it resistance with a capital R. And what resistance is the inner self-doubt that we feel when doing tasks. Even if it's a task we know we need to do, there's still that it's that force that's stopping us from doing that task. Say this is our starting point right here, and this is our end goal right here, and this line in the middle represents resistance. It's the force that stops us. It's the force that stops us from getting to our goal right here. Just understanding that concept was a game changer, because it made me realize resistance is nothing we can beat. Like, you can't beat resistance, but you can build habits that can weaken its hold on you. In the book, I really like how he characterizes resistance as like this malevolent figure. Like, resistance is almost like a cop stopping you, and it's like a bank robber jamming a 9mm in your face. Just this seemingly unstoppable force, but it can be overcome. It can be overcome. Even making this video brought a great deal of resistance. Like, you know, thoughts like, no one's gonna watch it, why am I doing this, like, I'm too tired, like thoughts like that. Even if I really want to do it and I really want to make this video, there's still like, it's like an inner doubt. It's like an inner self-doubt, wanting to take the easy road. Your inner self wanting it easy, wanting things that are non-confrontational, to do things that don't challenge you, to not make you think bigger. The book's called The War of Art, but it doesn't just apply to artists. It can apply to anybody, you know. Though I feel like we all get those thoughts of, you know, wanting to take the easy road and not doing things that are hard, because it's scary. Sometimes it's scary. Sometimes it's scary to take the road that will lead you down an unknown path, and you want to play it safe. But yeah, that's just resistance talking. The resistance is what wants to suck you back into safety, to say, you don't need to do this, you can just stay how you can just stay with your old self. Stay with me, stay with your old self. Play it safe. Reeling you back into safety. Play it safe. Don't take that risk. Yeah, you don't need to get up early. You can just sleep in every day. Safety first. Whoa, no. We wanna play it big here. We wanna dream big here. No, safety is what you need. Don't do it. Don't do it. No, don't do it. I will do it. No, I will do the work. We will do the work. The work needs to be done. It needs to be done. No more safety. No more safety. It's work time here. This is it. This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time. Safety? Listen, we gotta take more risks. We gotta make things happen. And I think what Stephen Pressfield does so well in the book is that he illustrates beautifully how to overcome resistance, how to just tackle it head on instead of running away from it. Because the more you run away from your problems or things that you really want to accomplish, the more you keep putting it off. It gets harder to start. It gets harder to start again. And in the books, he talks about how he himself struggled with resistance for many years. You know, he was writing for over 20 years with no success. And it took him, I believe he talks about how it took him literally writing for like 25 years to finally get paid for his work and get his work published, which is crazy to think about. But he just kept working. In the book, he talked about how his marriage failed, felt like he failed with his family, and he just moved out on his own on the road and just started work. He started working odd jobs and started just writing. You know, writing was his passion, and that was what he was running away from. And when he finally started doing that, he finally started overcoming all the resistance he was feeling in the past. And that was really powerful. Really, really powerful, the way he talks about it. In the book, he talks about how he moved to this cabin with his cat Mo. His like his cat Mo and his typewriter, and he's just like writing in there like a mad genius, just typing away, eating eggs and liver every day, like Rocky, just slogging it out every day. And the way he talks about it just illustrates how when that voice kicks in that finally says like, we're not gonna waste another day anymore, we're just gonna get going with it, that can just change your life. Another thing he talked about in the book is that how we have the right to our labor but not to the fruits of our labor. And what he means by that is that how our work's going to be received, whether good or bad, like we have no control over that at all. Whether we'll get praise for it or not, we have no control over that at all. We only have control over the fact that we can actually do our work. We can sit down to write, we can sit down to work, we can go out and whatever it is and do the work, basically. Everything else, there's no real control over that. The book also helped me understand procrastination more, because that is resistance. That is like a manifested form of resistance. That is the force within you that's stopping you from doing your work, and it's rooted in fear of the outcome, essentially. And it's mainly about staying the course, you know. And if you fall off the course, getting back on course and carrying on, because you can only fail if you stop. Like if you fall off course, you haven't failed. You only fail if you just stop completely. But if you fall off and then come back on, you're still in the game. You're still in the arena of life, still playing. When he said that, because I listened to the audiobook, I still need to get the physical copy, but when he said that, it just makes it so clear on why we do the things we do, the behaviors that we do. Also, what was an eye-opener was when he talked about how resistance is actually a good thing. It's healthy to have resistance. It means that you care about what you're doing. If you care about what you're doing, that must mean that it's worthwhile. It's worth doing. It's worth doing for your spirit. And I'm paraphrasing when I say this, but one of the greatest thing he says in the book is how it's better to be in the arena fighting than being a spectator. That's the war. That's where the war of art comes from, because you are the warrior. You are the one who's fighting every day, fighting resistance, metaphorically in your mind, because it's all in your head. But being that warrior and being in the arena is better than being a spectator. It's better than just living life passively and not doing what you really want to do. And one thing I've learned to do as a way to battle resistance is make a schedule, is to schedule my days so I know what I'm doing. I've found that that's helpful. Maybe you do that yourself, I don't know, but I found that when you schedule your days and you know what you're going to do, there's less chance for procrastination, because you know at a certain time you're doing this, at a certain time you're doing that. Because think about it, at work, you know when to come in because it's scheduled. Your life is pretty much, when you get a job, your life is pretty much scheduled. Someone else has made that schedule for you. But when you make your own schedule, you're in control of your own life. You don't have to go by someone else's schedule. Yes, if you're working, you can work by that schedule, but you also have the schedule for your own life to do what you want to do. Because so often there's the chance of going, well, I don't have time to do such and such. I work all the time. I don't have time. But we do have time. When you schedule your days to where you also prioritize what you love doing, you'll find the time. You'll find the time. Because at the end of the day, life is for living. Suffering all the time isn't normal. It shouldn't be the norm. You should live as well. Resistance being there is an ongoing presence. It will always be there. Knowing it's there, knowing how to overcome it, that's what's helpful. Being aware of it, increasing your awareness so that you know how to battle it. Like a gladiator in the arena. You are a gladiator in the arena of life. Participate in it and fight. If you come to your work without a plan, resistance can just get in there and just mess it all up. Like making this video, for example. I come into the studio and say I'm going to film for 2 hours and want to get everything I need to get done. And that's what I'm going to do. No interruptions, no distractions. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to talk to the camera. I feel like I'm beating resistance just by doing that. Getting tips from Steven Pressfield, bringing a level of professionalism to it, and it works. There's a bit where he talks about writing 9 screenplays and none of them selling. His agent couldn't sell any of them, so he felt to himself like a failure. But he just kept going. He just did it no matter what. And when he wrote his first book, which is The Legend of Bag of Ants, he was told that it wouldn't sell. He says something about how, the first book takes the longest to write and doesn't sell the best. But he wrote it and it was a huge success. A story about golf. He talks about how objectively he thought that it was probably the most boring topic to write about and write a book about, but that was what he was passionate about. Something inside of him was compelled to write that book. That came from within. He wasn't thinking about how it was going to be received, if it would sell or not. It was just something within him that went, I need to write that book, and I'm going to write it. Legend. The fuck was that? The beautiful thing about this is that anyone can get something from this book. Really what it is about, it's about human tendencies. And this book just perfectly illustrates how to overcome something that just can easily plague the mind. I'm definitely one of those people who are trying to work. We're trying to overcome that. Becoming aware of resistance has definitely making me stronger every day to fight resistance, essentially. And it can help you too. The War of Art, Steven Pressfield. Check it out.